Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Riley, and today we're gonna be yapping. Alright, we're gonna be yapping about something that's very near and dear to my heart: Fifth Harmony. I was a harmonizer back in 2014, 2015. Their music is some of the only music that I have bought and downloaded in my iTunes, along with Troye Sivan's first EP. So I'm cultured, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I thought about this video for a bit, and then they came back. They're back. Well, the four of them are, minus Camila. They came out at a Jonas Brothers concert, which that's kind of embarrassing. I'm just kidding. But I thought it might be a good idea to go through all the drama, all the lore, because a lot happened back then, and if you weren't there, you probably don't know about it. You probably don't even know who Fifth Harmony is. So I'm here to tell you, okay? So we have to start at the beginning. And by the beginning, I mean 2012, X Factor USA, auditions are held. 5 beautiful girls show up with a dream. And we're going to start with the oldest, Ally Brooke. She was 19 at the time she auditioned. She's the oldest member. She's now 31 years old, and she is from Texas. She made it through, but she was later eliminated, pushed on, later brought back to be a part of a group instead of a solo act. All of them were. All of the girls from Fifth Harmony were. Then we have Dinah Jane. When she auditioned, she would have been 15. Now she's 27. She was from California, and she auditioned with If I Were a Boy by Beyonce, which that is a banger. Good song choice, Dinah Jane. During boot camp, she forgot the lyrics to her song that she was singing, and I think Simon Cowell said later that if she hadn't forgotten the lyrics, she would have made it through as a solo act, which is really unfortunate, but she was brought back to be put in a group, obviously. Next, we have Normani Corday. Hi, Normani. She's from Atlanta, Georgia. Well, okay, she was born in Atlanta, then she lived in New Orleans, and then she lived in Texas, I believe. She would have been 15 at the auditions, I think, and she's 29 years old now. And she was also later eliminated and put in a group. Next, we have Lauren Jareggi. She is from Miami, and she was 16 at the time of the audition. She's 29 now. And she auditioned with If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys, which another banger. These girls really know how to choose their music. Next, Camila Cabello, who is from Havana, Cuba. She was 15 at the time of the audition, and she is 27 now. Her audition story is a little weird. She auditioned for the producers, not the judges, and then they told her that if there was extra time, she could audition for the judges. And so she waited, and there wasn't time, but she asked Simon Cowell if she could audition, and he said yes. So she auditioned and made it through. I don't think there's video of her audition because they didn't air it due to, I think they didn't have the rights to the song, which was RESPCT. So all of them were eliminated as solo artists in the X Factor and were later put together in a group, and they were under Simon Cowell's mentorship. So he was the judge that took them under his wing. And through their whole time on the show, he was very supportive of them. He loved them. They were originally called the Lylas, BLYLAS, which means love you like a sister. But they got into a dispute with another group that called themselves that, which was made up of Bruno Mars's sisters, which I didn't even know Bruno Mars had sisters, but apparently he has 4 of them. So they had to change their name, which they changed to 1432, which if you don't know what 143 is, it means I love you. And with the 2, it means I love you too. And then eventually they changed it to Fifth Harmony, which I think fans suggested to them. Which, good job fans, because those first 2 names were awful, in my humble opinion. One of their most iconic videos was when they performed Impossible by Chantel at the judge's house on the show. Like, they all had their own little verse. It was good stuff. This performance slayed. Like, they all shined, I feel, which is not always a common theme in their performances. They also performed Anything Could Happen by Ellie Goulding in one of the live shows, which they also slayed, and it's one of their more iconic performances as well. This all culminated into them getting 3rd place in the whole competition. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who won that season. They were not the stars, I feel, that Fifth Harmony was. Like, also on this season, along with Simon Cowell, was L.A. Reid and Britney Spears, and Demi Lovato was there sometimes too. Britney Spears and L.A. Reid did not like Fifth Harmony. They, like, this iconic GIF came out of this season of Britney Spears. This is like her reaction to finding out that they made it through. Like, she shook. And, you know, even though they didn't win, they were still signed to a record company. They got a record deal. They made it. They signed with Psycho Music and Epic Records. So, after they signed, what did they do? Let's talk about some of their music. Their first EP came out in October of 2013. It was called Better Together. Miss Moving On was the lead single, if anyone remembers that song. Miss Moving On. Iconic, some might say. Other notable songs on the album: Me and My Girls, Don't Wanna Dance Alone, title track Better Together. They then went on like a mall tour with this EP called Harmonize America. They won their first award in 2014. They won a Shorty Award. OMG, we just won a Shorty! It was their first of, I don't know how many. They won like VMAs and Teen Choice Awards, Kids Choice Awards, Radio Disney Music Awards, that kind of thing. No Grammys. They were robbed. They finally released their debut album in 2015, Reflection. They were bullied by their fans into changing the album cover art. See, this would never happen today and age when artists come out with 10 different covers, alternate album covers. But I must say, the cover that they changed it to is, like, it's so good. They all look so beautiful. They look so classy. I was like, who is this group? The singles were Boss with $2 signs as S's. Sledgehammer. It's like a sledgehammer. And then Work It, featuring Kid Ink. They also had Tyga on this album and Meghan Trainor. Other iconic songs include This Is How We Roll, Them Girls Be Like Mariah. Then in May of 2016, they came out with their second album called 727. The name represents the day they were formed as a group, May 27th. Now, this was an iconic era. I don't know if you guys recall the Work From Home. First of all, that song is ahead of its time. Okay, COVID. But the video for Work From Home featured Lauren fake drilling into a tractor thing. And it's just like, who is the planner? Who thought this? Who told her to do that? Was that something she did just, from her own brain, or like what was the thoughts behind that? That was a single, Work From Home, featuring Ty Dolla $ign. Other singles were All In My Head, featuring Fetty Wap, and That's My Girl. Now we're going to talk about some touring that they did. So they were opening acts in 2013 for Cher Lloyd, another icon. They really had an amazing career, Fifth Harmony. They were kind of everywhere during this time. I don't know how, if you didn't know who they were, how you missed that, honestly. They also opened for Demi Lovato in 2014, and then Austin Mahone also in 2014, which we'll get to him in a minute. Their first major headlining tour was in 2015, the Reflection Tour. Their opening acts were Jacob Whitesides, Mahogany Locks, Jasmine V, and Jacob Whitesides and Mahogany Locks. I don't know if you guys recognize those names, but I'm pretty sure they were Viners. Like, like what were they doing? And they had a second part to the Reflection Tour later, whose opening acts were B. Miller, who, if I used to be obsessed with B. Miller. Oh, I thought she was the coolest, and her music was like little edgy, like emo, well, not emo, but like it was like sad girl vibes, and I lived for that. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the dynamics from the girls. So even from the beginning, like Camila was seen as the star of the group. She just had this something about her that drew your eye. Like even Demi Lovato on the X Factor said this, that she was just the one that kind of stole the show. And it's true, like she had the most followers. Like she obviously was the first one to go solo, spoiler alert. It's unfortunate that it wasn't more of like an equal thing, and that all the girls didn't get the same attention, because they were all very deserving. They were all good singers. They all, had their special thing. She was the like goofy, quirky one, and that was like, I like wanted to be her. I was a Camila girl. I gotta admit, like I would like watch like interviews, and I'd be like, oh my god, I wish I was so quirky and goofy like that, like not like other girls, And now as an adult, I'm a Normani girl. And then Lauren was kind of known for being the best vocalist. Like she had the strongest like range, I would say, and she was a belter. She could belt. And then Normani was seen as the fierce one, according to my sources, which this is not how I viewed her as a fan. She was, I don't know, it's giving like a little bit of racial profiling. But it's like, I feel like she was always pretty quiet and like just like kind, like just like a sweet soul. Like Dinah was seen as like supposedly the lovable one, which I feel like is a weird adjective to use, because are they all not lovable? I don't know. It just kind of feels like a cop out. I don't know who came up with I'll link the sources I use down below, but I think this is from literally a Fifth Harmony wiki. So I don't know who wrote that, but. And then Allie, this wasn't on there, but I think she was the oldest. She was kind of seen as like the mom of the group, but she was also seen as like the little one because she was so much like shorter than all the other girls. So that was kind of their dynamics as a group. So let's talk about some drama iconic moments. You guys have probably seen this video of Lauren freaking out on the red carpet because she can't stand let her good side show to the camera or something, and the video is really funny, but it's also really sad because I've totally been in a situation where I'm overstimulated and anxious, and it feels like everything's going wrong, and you just need one thing to go right, and if that one thing doesn't go right, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I guess. While the video is comical, she even like laughs about it now. Like I do feel bad for them. Like they were under so much pressure at such a young age. They were so young when they started. Can you believe how baby they were? Like imagine being thrown into this world at like 15 years old. That's crazy to me. I know people do it, like freaking like Taylor Swift. I feel like there needs to be an age limit. Like you need to be at least 18 and like this is why child acting as well is just, I don't know, there's so many things that can go wrong. Also, I found a thread that someone made on Twitter of iconic moments that I'm gonna pull from, and I'll put their information here so you guys can go look at it if you want and actually watch the videos. The first one they posted is okay, so lots of fans shipped Lauren and Camila. Like, you could go to any interview on YouTube of them, or like compilation video, or the comments are just like, oh my god, I miss this Cameron. Oh my god, did you see the way that she looked at her? Oh my god, did you? Oh, she called her cams. Oh, it's just a lot, and people were like creepy about it. Lauren called people out. She was like, guys, it's gross and creepy, and like that was never a real thing, and you need to stop assuming people's sexualities and putting people together that because it makes them uncomfortable. It like makes them feel like they have to watch every single thing they can do when they're in the same room, and just I'm sure it's weird between them. It has to cause some sort of awkwardness. So I'm better than all of you. I was never a Carmen shipper. But a real couple that did happen was Austin, Mahomes, and Camila. But they met at some event in 2013, and then they went on tour and opened for Austin, and there was like rumors of them dating. Camila confirmed it in November of 2014, and then a few weeks later she said in another interview with Kiss FM that they were not together anymore. But these weeks in between there, those were the best weeks of my life. I'm gonna be honest with you. And then it was like reported that they broke up because Austin had wanted to keep it low key and thought that she announced it just to boost album sales, according to some source that said that. But he tweeted later, he was like, actually, that's literally not what happened. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So then in April 2015, it was confirmed, he confirmed that he was dating singer Becky G, another icon. And he like made some comment to MTV. He was like, yeah, we're dating. Like, I've never had a relationship before, and blah, blah, blah. Camila tweeted something like, something petty like, damn, good to know. That was the drama with Austin. So then drama starts happening. There's like speculation in like September of 2015 that Camila wanted to go solo. She was asked in an interview for a magazine about if she thought that the group would eventually split. She said, we all do. Like, we're not going to do this forever. We all have solo things we want to do. This led to like a social media freak out. People were like, oh my god, Camila's gonna leave. Oh my god, the band is gonna break up. Oh my god. And then in November of 2015, so like 2 months after she made this comment, she released her a solo song. I mean, it was with Shawn Mendes. It was I Know What You Did Last Summer. So this sparked even more fear in the hearts of harmonizers that she was going to leave the band. And, you know, her leaving would be detrimental. So it was fair for people to be scared that she was going to leave, because it would have been bad for the other girls. The fans, you know, they liked them as a group, but she probably did have the most solo fans. Like, her leaving made the most sense out of all of them, you know? As opposed to like One Direction, Zayn leaving, you would think it would have been Harry, right? But no. So in that sense, this end made more sense. Does that make sense? Then December 2015, a picture is posted from, I think, the Fifth Harmony account, I don't know, of Dinah, Lauren, Allie, and Normani in the stew together. No Camila, and people were like, oh no, this is bad. People were freaking out on social media, and Camila had to address it. She was like she was getting like hate, like people were hating on her, and she was like, it's ridiculous that I can't even look at my mentions without being like scared that someone's gonna tell me to like die, you know? And she doesn't, like, she addresses it, but she doesn't say it directly, but she basically says, believe what you want. Like, I could address this and no one would believe me and it'd be pointless. So whatever. And then another photo is posted by the Fifth Harmony's manager of those four again. No Camila, later in the month of December 2015. So a lot of questions came about after that in interviews and such of, what are you guys going to do with solo careers? Is that a thing? Is someone leaving? And they all kind of had the same answer as Camila at the beginning. They're like, yeah, like eventually we're not going to stay together forever. We eventually want to do our own things. We all have passion projects that we want to do and our own dreams. But for now, we're all happy here doing this together. So, I mean, Camila getting the hate for saying that first, I think is a little ridiculous. And then, so stuff kind of dies down after they all kind of give that answer of like, we're here for now, like, it's chill out. In August of 2016, they're doing an interview or something, and it's Normani. They ask her to describe each girl in one word. And she says something nice about all the girls, and then she gets to Camila and she kind of hesitates. She like had to really think about it, and she was like quirky, cute, or something like that. People perceived that as her being shady or like not liking Camila as much as the other girls. Camila's stans immediately took to the internet, hating on Normani, being super racist, and just like giving her just such unnecessary hate. Like, she could have just like been thinking about all the good times and when she was asked that, like, I don't think it had to be that deep. And even if she was being shady, like, hey. So Camila had to tweet like, I want love only. That's like what I promote. Like, stop hating on my friends. Within all of this drama, they are on tour right now for their 727 tour, and they canceled the last 4 concerts of the tour in August. So with no explanation or anything. And then they are performing in September in St. Louis, and Camila like abruptly goes off stage and with no explanation, and eventually she posted something that was like, I was having too much anxiety and I just couldn't perform. And then a few days later, at another show, Lauren broke down on stage during a song, like sobbing, crying, and people were like, what's going on? And she was like, and she said that the song lyrics just got to her. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I don't know what song they were singing. I'm going to insert a video and I'll leave my comments, I guess. But I don't think that they have a song in their discography that would warrant that kind of emotion. But you let me know. But I mean, we all have those days where stuff hits harder than others. But so I don't know. So people kind of thought like, oh, there's something going on behind the scenes. Like, these girls are not good. These girls are not happy. Something is up. And, you know, they're probably right. Like, they should not have this much anxiety doing something that they love. And then in October of 2016, Camila comes out with another solo project. It's a collab with Machine Gun Kelly. She releases a song, Bad Things. On December 18th, it all comes to a head when Fifth Harmony themselves announced that Camila will be leaving the group. They released a statement claiming that they were informed via Camila's team that she would be leaving, like not by Camila is what they said. Camila said that's not true. Like, they just Camila says like she didn't know that they were gonna post that, and her feelings are hurt and they've been through so much and blah blah blah. She like didn't intend to end things this way, and it's just not how she wanted it handled. And it was just a lot of back and forth and online drama, social media posts. Fifth Harmony says that they tried to consistently make efforts to sit down and have meetings with her about the future Fifth Harmony and trying to get her to just do one more album with them. They said that Camila just kept refusing to meet with them to discuss their future. And that in mid-November, they were informed that from her management that she would be leaving. So my opinion on this whole back and forth, he said, she said mess is what I personally think. I have no proof, no evidence. These are my personal feelings on the matter of what I think actually went down behind the scenes, just from what I've seen and learned and heard. I think that the Fifth Harmony management probably wasn't very good. I mean, we saw this with One Direction. It's just, I think these kids were young. They agreed to a lot of things that they didn't know they shouldn't agree to. Who knows what was in those contracts? They had to be a part. I don't know what was in those contracts. So do I think that Camila got wrapped into doing things that she didn't want to do, which isn't okay, but also it's just something that happens, I think, in the music industry. Like, young people who want to make it, they get taken advantage of because they have such big dreams and they have people in front of them that are promising them these dreams coming true, and then they get in over their heads and they don't know what to do. I think something like that happened and Camila wanted out. And I think that there was probably people, her manager in her ear, telling her things, and I think that the Fifth Harmony management was probably in the other girls' ears, telling them things that Camila wanted nothing to do with them and blah, blah, blah. I think there was adults in this situation that were purposefully manufacturing drama, almost, maybe. Like, I don't think Camila purposefully wanted to leave and hurt the other girls. I think I think they were genuine friends for a while, and I think she just wanted to go, and I think that is okay. I think it is unfair to say that she should stay because without her the band or the group would die, because that's also kind of a kick in the face to the other girls, because they're like, oh, so we're nothing without Camila? And it's like, no, she was probably the most famous one, so it would have been a bit of a setback and things would change. So I don't know how true I think the whole thing of she wouldn't sit down with us to discuss her future. I think they knew what she wanted to do. I think that they probably didn't need to sit down and talk about the future, because I'm sure it was made known that she didn't want to stick around that long. And the whole, we wanted her to do one more album with us, it's like she probably did more than she wanted to do already. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of her contracts. If she has signed something that said she had to stay for a certain amount of time or to make a certain amount of projects, that's different. And I think if you're legally bound to do something like that, you should stick. I mean, I don't know, unless it's hurting you in some way, or, I mean, and clearly it was if she was so anxious, although she could have just been anxious about knowing that she was going to leave, you know? So, I don't know, I can see it both ways. It's hard without knowing the finer details. But anyways, December 2016, she leaves. And the 4 girls left: Dinah, Lauren, Normani, and Allie. How did the group fare without her? Well, let's talk about it. They have their first performance by themselves, January 18th, 2017. They perform at the People's Choice Awards, and Lauren sings Camila's part of Work From Home in this performance. And then they came out with an album August of 2017. It was self-titled. It was called Fifth Harmony, which, low-key, should they change it to Fourth Harmony? I don't know. Singles were Down, He Like That, Por Favor. They also did a tour for this album, I believe. And before this, in like July of 2018, Camila unfollowed all the other members, and she also unfollowed the official Fifth Harmony page. They were asked about it, and Lauren, she refers to it as a clearing of energy and stuff, and like just they got rid of the bad vibes and whatnot. And
are we okay? Because it was like on following on Twitter and all this stuff, or are we cool?
Girl, we're happy.
We were happy.
A lot of people took this as that it was Lauren. It was because Lauren and Camila broke up, and that's what. Which, spare me. In August of 2017, they performed at the VMAs, and they have a fifth figure on stage. It's like kind of like shaded though, so you can't tell who it is. They have a fifth person on stage in the middle of them that they like knock off the stage. And I don't know whose idea this was, but whoever did it, I don't think it was the girls. I think it was someone upper that like was mad at Camila because they probably lost money because she left and they wanted to be petty. And it was petty. Why would you do that? Like, and Camila came out and said like that it hurt her feelings and such, which is great, is valid. So later, so you know, there's comments made, and you know, things continue that way. There had to be someone behind the scenes who was facilitating this like animosity, because I don't know, there just had to be something. I just know it. So December of 2017, Lauren says in like an interview or something that the girls are working on their own projects, you know? In March of 2018, the group announced that they were going to be on an indefinite hiatus to pursue solo projects, and they released this whole big statement, and I remember this, and at this point I would have been 18, so I don't think I wasn't necessarily still a fan at this point. I was more so because don't forget, I was a Camila girl, so when she left I was like, well, I'm gonna stream their music if I like it, but I'm not gonna be in the trenches still, because I wanted to support them and I wanted them to be okay after I wanted the best for everyone. I was mad at Camila for leaving, honestly, when I was a fan, because I loved them as a group. You know, I think their dynamics were so fun to watch in interviews and such. So they're now all pursuing their own thing. So where are they now? Camila left first, obviously. And after she left in 2017, she came out with some singles, Havana, Never Be the Same, and those were played on every radio station on repeat. Havana Unana, like that, it lives in my brain rent free. Her debut solo album came out in 2018 called Camila, self-titled, and I streamed that album because I still wanted to support her at that point. Do I think it was good music? I don't know. I think it was enjoyable and it was catchy, and yeah. She also came out with another album called Romance in 2019, which I do not remember at all. I think at this point I was aged out. I was like, I can't do it anymore. I would have been 19, so. And then she came out with Familia in 2022, which I do not remember at all also. And then in 2024, she released CXOXO, which I also did not stream. I think I probably heard the single, which is called I Love It. She also opened for Taylor Swift in 2018 for her Reputation tour, which is pretty iconic. And then she also went on her own tour later that year for her Camila album. Started a movie in 2021. It was like a Cinderella remake kind of vibe. And she also had an on and off again relationship with Shawn Mendes, which is fun. I think that they're off right now because I don't know. But I think the triangle between him, Sabrina, and Camila is really fun. So she's done a lot. Like she was everywhere after she left. Like she's done a lot of collabs with a lot of famous people like Ed Sheeran and I don't even know, a lot of rappers. Okay, and then Normani, my queen. As I've aged, Normani is my favorite. As an adult, because I think she is just so beautiful, honestly. Like her face is like perfect. And I was, we were all itching for her to come out with new music. We were like, Normani, where's the album? It's like how we pester Rihanna. It's like, hello? Like, come on. So, in 2017, she actually, which this would have been like probably right after they started doing solo stuff. This was before the announcement, though, I think. She competed on season 24 of Dancing with the Stars. And she finished third, which is pretty good because she was always seen as like, she was always the best dancer in the group, I think. Like she could hit a move. And then she finally released her album called Dopamine in 2024. I feel like I missed this. I think I've heard a couple songs from it, but I need to go do like an in-depth listen actually. But I do remember when she first released Motivation, her single, in 2019, and she did a music video, and the whole vibe of like the early 2000s, like the spray paint shirt, it was so good, and I wanted more of that so bad. Her first solo single after Fifth Harmony was a song with Khalid, who I love. I think their voices fit so well together. It was called Love Lies. It's a banger. I think they did another collab together as well. But she's also done collabs with Cardi B, Tinashe, Offset, Gunna, Meg The Stallion. Like she be doing her thing. And she also recently got engaged, I think in March of this year, to DK Metcalf, who is a football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe. And you know what? He is so supportive of her and her career and her music, which you can't say about all men. I'm looking at you, Simone Biles' husband, whose name I can't remember because you're not important. And then she's also done a lot of like modeling for Savage X Fenty, which we need more of. We need more of, babe. And then Lauren, I still keep up with her she's very outspoken about on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff about political issues, which I really admire. She's not afraid to say it with her chest. Okay, like she'll stand 10 toes down on whatever she has to say. She came out with some singles after Fifth Harmony in 2018 and 2019. One was called Expectations, and the other was called More Than That. And then her debut, Spotify says this is an album in her discography, but it's 7 songs. So, and other places call it an EP. So I'm gonna go with EP. It was called Prelude that she came out with in 2021. I did not stream. I should maybe, because she was genuinely they were all decent singers, but some of them were better than others, and they all had their strengths. But I think Lauren and Romani were to me, I liked their voices the best. She also was in an HBO series in 2021. She has collabs with like Steve Aoki and Black, or Six Lack, as some of you may call him, Halsey. Like she also has some good collabs. And then in 2023, she released an album called In Between. She also dated Ty Dolla $ign for a while. And then she dated someone named Sasha, and I think that they are broken up. And I think I saw somewhere that she said she wanted to explore polyamory, which, hey, no judgment here. So that's what she's been up to. And Allie, she had her debut single came out in 2018. It was called Perfect, and it had a feature from Topic, who I don't know who that is, so I'm sorry if that's bad. She doesn't have an album yet. I thought she was supposed to release one. I don't know what happened there. So no album yet. But she does have lots of singles and collabs, and she has like a Christmas cover EP. She has some collabs with A Boogie with the Hoodie, Afrojack, Tyga, who Fifth Harmony worked with before as well. She also competed on Dancing with the Stars and also got 3rd place. She did a different season than Normani. She did it a couple seasons later in 2019. And she recently got married to her boyfriend, her husband, Will Bracey, who they dated for a long, like they've been together. They got married in May of this year, 2025. So congrats to them. And she also released a memoir in 2020 called Finding Your Harmony, which I haven't read. And if you have, let me know. Is there tea in there? Should I read it? And then Dinah Jane. She had some singles released in 2017 and 2018. She had one called Boom Boom, one called Bottle Up, which I haven't heard. I really did bad with keeping up with them. I think I just stopped caring at a point. I got in college and I was like, I can't care about Fifth Harmony anymore. That's embarrassing. And then she came out with an EP in 2019 that was self-titled. I believe it's called Dinah Jane. And then she came out with an album in 2024 called Juice County Volume 1. And then, obviously, just like a couple days ago, they were all back together. Well, besides Camila, doing a performance at the Jonas Brothers concert. And it was a choice. They also came out with merch. I saw on their Twitter, well, they tweeted like, hey, follow Spree, because I still follow the Fifth Harmony account. And then they tweeted out that they are selling merch. And then they were with the Jonas Brothers, and it was just the performance. I didn't watch. I just saw some clips, and I'm sorry. Like, I love them dearly, but it's just, I don't know. Is it because we're in a recession? Like, people are just like reheating their old nachos. There's a lot of reboots and remakes, and they're making sequels to things that we don't need sequels for. And like, I get it, it's like nostalgic and it sells, it does, but do we need that? Like, what are you giving us? Like, I don't know. Like, I love you guys, but I think we're at a point in time and in your lives and our lives, your previous fans' lives, where we don't want to see you doing something you were doing when you were like 16 years old, right? Am I wrong? Is that harsh? I don't know. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. I don't know if they're going to try to make some new projects or what, or just kind of do like a reunion performance every once in a while. So I hope you guys learned something from this. So yeah, if anyone has any opinions on this or any extra information they'd like to share, let me know. Well, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more deep dives into things. I have a lot of interests that I would love to yap about for hours. Just all you have to do is ask. Just give me a little caffeine and a microphone, and I'll talk. Dude, get out. Okay, but Ellie.